What's up, y'all? It's your girl S to the C Scorpio, S to the C Twerk Goddess. So today I want to talk to you all about 10 things you can do to help you deal with anxiety and depression. I know we don't talk about the stresses that we go through as a family, as a community, as a society. And we definitely don't like to talk about mental health issues, specifically as people of color. So today I just want to give you 10 tips to kind of help you deal with anxiety. I know there's a lot going on in the world these days where many people are on edge and a lot of people are dealing with mental health challenges and just having these array of feelings and emotions that they don't know how to deal with. They may not feel comfortable talking to family members about it, or they may be too prideful to reach out for help. So I'm here to help you, give you some tips to help you deal with depression or anxiety. And I need to throw this disclaimer out there. I am not a licensed therapist. However, I do advocacy for mental health. So just know that, like, if you're having a severe challenge with depression or anxiety, you definitely want to reach out to a professional that, this is their field and their expertise. Again, I am not a licensed therapist, but I do provide advocacy for people struggling with mental health challenges. So the first thing, or the first tip that you could do to deal with mental health challenges, depression, anxiety, is focus on yourself. Focus on your dreams, focus on your goals. A lot of times we're so busy, captivated, and just overwhelmed with life. Maybe you might be in college, stressing out about exams. Maybe you have a 9 to 5. Maybe there's just a lot of pressure on you. Maybe you're the provider for your family and you feel like you can never catch a break. Well, one of the tips to help you deal with that is to focus on yourself. And by focusing on yourself, you could jot down some goals and some ideas, some of the dreams that you have. You could pursue that. And what I found is that when you work on a personal goal, or trying to enhance your life, it could be your weight, it could be your mindset, it could be developing social skills, things like that. It could be a plethora of things. You get more engaged in that, and then you find fulfillment in that. um, Tip two: stop comparing yourself to others. I know we live in a very visual society, with all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, all these platforms. A lot of times people have a tendency to compare themselves to others. We look at others thinking that we're missing out on success because this person just posted this and that person just posted that. Well, the truth is you're not with them 24 hours a day. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what they're dealing with, off the camera. So it's really important. That will help diminish some of the stress and anxiety and depression that we experience as a society. Is stop comparing yourself to others. You don't know what journey a person has had. You have not walked in their shoes. So what you see is not always what you get. If you were to talk to some of these people behind the scenes, they would have shared experiences of trauma, of just trials and overcoming things. So you never know what a person is going through just by what they're posting on social media. So stop comparing yourself to others. Another important tip, number three: make sure you take time for self-care. Now, self-care does not have to be some fancy event that you do. You don't necessarily have to book a trip to the spa, or go get a clay mask or things like that, but whatever self-care means to you. So I know early in the pandemic, for me, self-care was burning my sage, burning my incense, and listening to my favorite music. So I've noticed that when I listen to music specifically from the 80s, like that was my era. In the 90s, like I like that type of music. It just puts me in a great mood. It increases my energy and my vibration. So when you take time for self-care, that could be breathing techniques, it could be going for a walk, exercising. Writing and journaling is another one that I hear a lot when I do groups. People journaling, writing. Maybe you could write a poem, maybe you could just write your feelings out, but that will definitely help you feel better about the situation and not focus so much on the stress and anxiety. Another tip is give yourself a facial. Do focus on your skincare. Drinking water, therapy definitely can be effective for people, but I would suggest that you find a therapist that you could trust. A lot of times we turn to our friends or family members, and some people have had challenges with that because, their fear of being judged or their business getting out to others, that, you want to be in a safe space, in a safe zone, and you want to feel like the information um it's confidential, and it's not going to just be out there. Another thing, number 4, what you could do, again, do something that you enjoy. So if you were probably a kid, you probably used to like to hula hoop. I don't know, but something that you enjoy, not something that you saw somebody do on social media, something that you enjoy. So today, for self-care and just a little bit of fun, we're going to get out and watch a movie, Black Phone or something. I don't know, I'm not into all of that, but we're going to go see it just, as a little relaxer, self-care, and have some fun. So you know on 4, when you look back and you see like when were the happy moments of your life, you need to reflect on some of the things that you were doing. So for me, it was like my favorite songs. Like I said, in the beginning of the pandemic, I used music as therapy to help me, vibrate higher and not let everything that was going on in society impact, my happiness and my vibration. Number 5, on tips to help you deal with anxiety and depression. Try something new. So it could be a new food, it could be a new hobby, it could be a new adventure. You may be scared of heights. You might want to try hiking, make sure that you're safe. Just something different that you haven't done before. Maybe jet skiing, maybe scuba diving, maybe surfing. Anything that you haven't really tried before. Sometimes when you put your energy into things that you haven't done before, you find a new interest, and you can increase your happiness through things like that. And also, more things that you can learn about computers, coding, technology, NFTs, Bitcoin, different things that you could get into just to kind of take your mind off of where you're at and the anxiety that you may be experiencing. Another thing that may work for some people is different types of spirituality. So, there's sound healing, there's prayer, meditation groups. Some people like yoga, some people like Zumba. It's really up to you what you feel comfortable with, but that will definitely help you kind of ease some of the stress and depression and anxiety that you may be experiencing. Number 6, y'all not gonna want to hear this, but a big part of people's stress and anxiety and depression is because some people have a difficulty accepting things. So, if you ever heard the term que sera, sera, is whatever will be, right? And so, in that, sometimes things happen and they're not, the most favorable thing that we've experienced. And that's a part of life. Many people, and also great people, have experienced, trial and error, or having experiences that were unpleasant, or they didn't necessarily, want to have. So a good tip for dealing with depression and anxiety is just to accept things the way they are. Accept you where you are right now. You may wish to be somewhere, I don't know, but you may not be there right now. And as long as you know, apply the steps that you need to take to get to where you're trying to go, and accept where you are, and also embrace where you are, and know that where you are right now is where you're meant to be. Number 7, live in the moment. Many times we, again, look at people on social media and we see them living their best lives and traveling around the country, and we're like, oh, I want to be in, the Bahamas, or oh, I want to be in the DR, and, or Dubai. You want to be in all these beautiful places, but you have to live in the moment. So every day, basically every second, is a gift. It's a blessing. And that's why it's called the present. When you live in the present, it is actually a present. It is a gift. So we need to learn to accept what it is. And it is what it is. Okay, number 7. So living in the moment, right? So again, set goals that can align with your purpose and help you fulfill your goals. And don't worry about don't worry about fitting in, or you may feel left out. Certain friends may not invite you to certain things. It is what it is. So I think the more we develop an attitude of que sera, sera, whatever will be, or it is what it is, it can help us move smoothly through our transitions, as you know, the world is going through whatever the world is going through, and not getting caught up and focused on the negative things in life. So that leads me to number 8: be childlike. Remember when we was kids, like, we didn't have a care in the world. Like, we may not have had a lot of money, but we were very creative, and we just came up with all kind of ideas. We were drinking water from the water faucet. We was jumping off the porch. We had the ice cream truck. We used to ride on the back of the ice cream truck when I was coming up as a kid. But it's really important even as an adult, and some people are just so serious about life that they forget to have fun, and they forget like the childhood elements that, when they were a kid, they were fearless. They didn't really have many cares in the world. So that leads me to number 9 on tips to help you deal with anxiety or depression. Stop seeking external validation. So again, we live in a very visual society. A lot of us are captivated by what we see on social media, and there's a lot of comparisons when we look at maybe some of our peers or just different people posting throughout the world. And our lives may not be similar. I mean, like, we're all different, right? So we all have individual experiences. But it's important that we stop seeking validation. For me, that was like one of my biggest contributors to having anxiety, is just like wondering what my family thought, or feeling like I needed validation. If I told them that I was doing something great and they didn't respond in the way that I felt was appeasing or appropriate, that kind of made me sad and made me have a little bit of anxiety. So it's really important to stop seeking validation, especially external validation. So that leads me up to number 10. This is the last one on ways and tips to help you deal with anxiety and depression. Sorry. Celebrate your accomplishments, celebrate your goals. Now, how big or small, you might have a goal to, today I'm not going to eat no ice cream. Okay, if that's your goal and you make it throughout the day and you don't have no ice cream, kudos to you. Celebrate that. Be happy of your accomplishments. It doesn't matter how big or small. I had got to the point at one point that my mentor had to tell me, like, look, that's a big deal. You need to celebrate that. So a lot of times we just in the moment, and just being present, and we feel like some of the accomplishments that we make or that we have, they're just something that we supposed to do. But celebrate those high moments. Celebrate your accomplishments, your goals. You may have had a goal to read a book in a certain amount of time, and that may not seem like a lot to somebody, but to you, if that's your goal, to complete a book, finish reading a book, that's a big accomplishment. Because guess what, it's other people that did not read the book. They didn't even pick the book up. So I hope these tips helped you guys. Again, I am not a licensed therapist, at least not yet, but I do have my degree in social and behavioral science. So, and I do facilitate a lot of groups for the people that I advocate for. And so I just want you guys to be great and thrive. Don't pay attention to what's going on in the world. Live in the moment. Focus on yourself. Breathing techniques is another thing. I also didn't, in self-care, that could be a long shower. That could be a bubble bath with some candles and some nice music. I'm not encouraging, drinking, but a nice glass of wine, moderation, but again, we want to stay away from substance abuse and substances and things like that. But for the grown and sexy, have your bubble bath with your candles and your glass of wine. But we're about to go see this movie, y'all. So I really, really, really hope that these tips help you deal with anxiety and depression. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section and check out some of the links that I have available. And I appreciate you all, and thank you, and I'll see you soon. Mwah.